Michael Jackson, a hidden brush, the king of pop's love for art and painting. When people think of Michael Jackson, they think of music. They think of moonwalks, sold-out stadiums, diamond-studded gloves, and legendary albums that shaped generations. But behind the lights, cameras, and endless screams of fans, there was a softer side to Michael. A side that found peace not in the roar of applause, but in the quiet scratch of a pencil, the smooth flow of a paintbrush, and the gentle blending of colors on a canvas. This is the story of Michael Jackson's love for art and painting, a side of the king of pop that only a few truly knew. Chapter 1. A Boy with a Pencil. Michael's journey into art began long before he became a global superstar. As a child in Gary, Indiana, living in a small house with his brothers and sisters, Michael found comfort in sketching. While music was already part of the Jackson family's life, drawing gave Michael a private escape. He loved to sketch superheroes, animals, and faces. Sometimes, when his brothers were rehearsing dance steps, Michael would sit quietly in a corner, pencil in hand, trying to capture what he saw on paper. Even as the Jackson 5 skyrocketed to fame, the young boy carried notebooks filled with doodles and sketches. In hotel rooms, on airplanes, and in backstage dressing rooms, Michael could often be found with a pencil, lost in his own world. Chapter 2. Music meets painting. For Michael, music and painting were never separate. He often said, "Art is the purest expression of the soul. Music is painting in sound, and painting is music in color." When Michael created songs, he thought in images. Thriller wasn't just a song, it was a movie in his head, complete with costumes, shadows, and set designs. Smooth Criminal wasn't just rhythm, it was a visual story told in white suits and smoky lights. This same imagination spilled into his art. His paintings and drawings often carry the same rhythm and storytelling as his music. When he picked up a brush, it was as though he was composing a song without sound. Chapter 3. The Collector's Eye. As his fame grew, Michael became not only an artist but also a passionate art collector. He loved to surround himself with beauty, inspiration, and creativity. At Neverland Ranch, Michael filled the rooms with paintings, sculptures, and artistic treasures. He admired the works of classical masters, modern visionaries, and especially artists who told stories through their work. He was particularly drawn to Norman Rockwell, who captured slices of life with warmth and humanity. Rockwell's ability to freeze a moment, of a child laughing, a family gathering, or a quiet reflection, deeply moved Michael, who always believed in the innocence and purity of childhood. But Michael's collection wasn't about wealth or status. It was about finding a sanctuary. Each piece of art spoke to him, reminded him of something he longed for, or simply gave him peace. Chapter 4. Michael the Artist. What many fans don't realize is that Michael was a gifted painter and sketch artist himself. Over the years, he created portraits, sketches, and abstract works that revealed his inner world. Some of his drawings were simple pencil sketches, raw, direct, and emotional. Others were elaborate paintings filled with vibrant colors and hidden meaning. Michael loved drawing eyes. To him, eyes were the windows to the soul. He would spend hours capturing the emotions of a gaze, as though he could speak to people without words. He also painted self-portraits, reflecting his struggles, hopes, and dreams. Some were dark and moody, hinting at the loneliness of fame. Others were full of color, showing his eternal optimism and childlike imagination. Michael even painted gifts for friends, a gesture that showed how personal art was to him. Unlike music, which was shared with the entire world, his paintings were intimate, often meant for just a few people to see. Chapter 5. Healing through art. Michael's life was not easy. From the pressures of fame to the constant scrutiny of the media, he carried burdens that few could ever understand. For him, painting and sketching became a form of therapy. With every brushstroke, he could release emotions he couldn't express in interviews. With every sketch, he could reveal feelings that words could not capture. When he felt misunderstood, art understood him. When the world was loud, art was silent. His paintings often reflected his inner struggles, his longing for love, his desire for peace, and his constant search for innocence in a world that judged him harshly. Through art, Michael found healing. Chapter 6. A Private Treasure. Michael never flaunted his paintings. Unlike his music, which he shared with billions, his artwork was personal. He didn't seek galleries or exhibitions. His sketches were kept in books, his paintings in private rooms, his doodles on scraps of paper. Friends who knew him often spoke about his habit of sketching while talking. He would sign autographs with little drawings. He would doodle on napkins during conversations. To him, art was not about fame. It was about expression, about being human, about being free. Chapter 7. The Legacy of Michael's Art. After his passing in 2009, some of Michael's artwork came into public view. Fans were amazed to see this hidden side of the King of Pop. Exhibitions showcased his drawings, and collectors shared stories of the pieces he created. What the world discovered was that Michael wasn't just a performer. He was a true artist in every sense of the word. His music moved the ears, his dance moved the eyes, and his paintings moved the heart. Chapter 8. The Artist's Spirit. To understand Michael Jackson's love for art is to understand his soul. Behind the spectacle of fame was a gentle dreamer who saw the world not just as it was, but as it could be. He once said, "Art lives forever. It speaks when words cannot. It comforts when nothing else will. It tells the truth without judgment." And through his paintings, Michael spoke truths he never said on stage. He left behind a visual legacy that complements his musical one. He was not just the king of pop. He was a man of colors, sketches, and canvases. Closing reflection. Michael Jackson's love for art reminds us that creativity has no limits. A true artist doesn't belong to one medium. Michael sang, danced, wrote, painted, and sketched. His art, whether in sound or in color, was always about love, healing, and connection. The world will forever remember Michael Jackson as a performer. But those who look deeper will also remember him as a painter, a dreamer, and an artist whose soul found expression in every form imaginable. Because for Michael,